Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to another video. I'm so excited to show you this project. If you said to me, Maymay, what's your favorite thing to craft? Which I do get asked that question a lot. It is always three-dimensional products or projects. I love to take flat cardstock and turn it into something three-dimensional. And I also love to show you how to do it with tools you already have. And that's what this little guy is going to do today. So you might be thinking, why on earth would you want this little guy? But here's the thing. He's a super cute little treat box for the holidays. If you want to give something at everybody's seat when they come for a meal, or if you just want to have a bunch of them made up at the door, they're just super cute to have. So here's how this is going to start. This piece of cardstock is 6 by 6, and we're going to make something that used to be called a 2-4-6 box. I don't know if it still is, but the reason it was is because it's a 6 by 6 piece of paper. You score at 2 and 4, then you turn it and you score it at 2 and 4 again. This is where so many projects used to start for me, and today is no different. Then we need a piece that is 4 by 6, okay, and we're going to score it very similar. We're going to score it at 2, and then we're going to turn it and score at 2 and at 4. This piece is going to make our roof. Now, it needs some fancy footwork. The other stuff, the other little piece doesn't, but this one does. And this is going to look like a lot, but just bear with me. This is kind of my template that we're going to be making. And I'm going to show you how to not have to cut all of this away, or you can cut it away. Well, I'll make all of this make sense in a minute. But there is that. And we'll put a photo of this on our blog post for you guys. I'm going to put this here and see if you can watch that as I work. Okay, so it'll make sense. All right, let's start by making these two little pieces here. These are the most important, okay, and could be the hardest. What I want you to do is just pick one side of your piece. So your score mark's in the middle, pick one side. You can see how these are the same, just mirror images on either side. We're going to do that here. What we're going to do is we're going to go from that center score mark to that first score mark in that little block on the end and do a score at a diagonal. This is why I have my 6-inch piece marked, the little anywhere. Anytime you see my scoreboard, there's that mark on there, the 6-inch score all the way down, so I can float in the middle and do that diagonal. So I want to do it on this block, and then I want to do it on the other end block as well. So just from score mark to score mark, and then I'm just going to score, okay? Now what I want to do is go back across and make an X, but here's how we're going to do it. We're going to let our score marks help us. This is our 2-inch score here, so 2 and 4. See that one? We're going to go to that 2-inch score into the corner of this page and put that onto our diagonal line, okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you to come right here to where these lines intersect, and we're just going to score down. So what you're doing there is just making an X. See that X? There it is. Now I want to do that on the other one as well. This is just going to tell us basically where to make our cuts. Now these two here, you don't have to score this. They have to be cut away, but you can kind of do that without scoring. But if you struggle cutting a straight line from corner to corner, go ahead and just score these guys like this on both those other blocks on the other ends. I'll make this make sense in a second. Give me a second. That did not make sense. But you can see here, just go ahead and diagonal score this section, but just do the diagonal across just to give you a scissor line, okay? All right, the next thing I want you to do, I found when assembling this that it was best to go ahead and cut away our kind of pieces we don't need and then fold and crease. All right, so I'm going to grab some scissors. And just like here, I'm just going to cut the score mark away all the way across. Now, let me say something to you. This piece right here is a perfect piece for quilt cards or for piecing or anything like that. Ever since I started sewing and making quilts, every piece that I cut away, because it's fabric, can become something else. And these can too. Look, you can do something with them like this. And you know what? We might. I'm going to put these aside. We may come back to them. All right, so there's those two pieces cut away. So here's what we're looking like. I'm going to lay this down so you can see. This is this, okay? Now let's work up here. What I'm going to do first before I cut that completely is go ahead and make that cross cut. It's the same cut we just did. Honestly, you could do this on your trimmer if you don't like using your scissors for such long cuts. But I'm going to do it right here. And if you didn't make that cross line all the way down, these wouldn't have a score mark in the middle of them, and so you'd end up with 4 of the very same pieces. But think about this. Just run these through an embossing machine, and you still have 4 of those same pieces for another project. All right, so put those aside. So now what we have is we have this cutaway and this cutaway. Okay, so that's what we're working with. And now I'm going to fold and crease. And we'll move this out of the way for a minute. This little roof comes together really, really quick. It's pretty cool. Actually, I was watching some origami houses. Like there's all different videos of people folding and making origami houses. And I thought, how can we do that? And I saw someone make a fold like this. And I went, you know what? I used that fold on another project. I bet we can make this happen here. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. Let's get everything folded and creased. So this little fold right here, you've seen us before do those folds in the middle and then crease them up to take up width. You see that? To take up all that space. Exactly what we've done before, especially when we make our fold flat bags and things like that. We do this kind of little mechanism. But you can see here, this piece will fold up, and when it does, it goes under to create a roof. Now, you can leave this just like this. You can glue all of this down and keep all of that in there. And if you're using a thinner cardstock, I actually suggest doing it because it'll make your roof thicker to have all those layers, okay? My cardstock is super thick already, so I'm not going to keep all of that. I'm going to cut a little more away. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to cut the little piece that is connected to that pitch there, that roof pitch, away just like this. Okay, and I'll lay that down so you can see what I did because I want that to make sense. It's almost like we made a mouth over there, didn't we? And I'm going to do the same on the other side. But again, if your cardstock is not as thick as mine, you could just glue it all shut and it would still work. But my cardstock is pretty thick. All right, so let's cut that little piece away. So far we've used our trimmer, our scoreboard, our scissors, and a bone folder. So nothing fancy, right? All right, now check this out. This roof comes together super fast. What you're going to do is apply glue here, and then these pieces are going to match up and create your roof pitch. Isn't that adorable and super, super easy? All right, so let's get our glue. I'm going to apply glue in here like so. Then I'm just going to run that just like that. And I even will sit this down on the table and let that kind of square up just by pushing it down. And I love how this works. Perfect, perfect. Now listen, I'm going to show you one size, but I'm going to try a second size. So stick around in the video. After we make this one, I'm going to make one more size for you to see how it works too. All right, now this is my little roof. Nothing fancy, nothing more than that. Isn't that great? So there it goes. You know what? That could totally be like a wheelbarrow. We could use that in another project. Too cute. Okay, let's put the box together. Now, I'm going to call this box a roundabout, and I'll tell you why. Here's how we're going to do it. I want you to cut away this score mark, this score mark, this score mark, and then this score mark. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to cut to both sides of that score mark. Right now, I'm cutting to the left, up to where they intersect, then I'm going to cut the right. And I'm literally cutting that score mark away. Now, right now, I'm going to leave it there, okay, just for a second. And what I'm going to do is go from here to here, do the same thing again. We're going to go around about this box. And every other one of these, we're going to cut that score mark away. I'm just going to let that live there for a minute, go to the next one. If it helps you, it's the same one on every side, but you're only doing one from every side. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that down and I'm going to tuck that one down. Now what I want you to do, I want to take these little pieces off, but what I'm going to do is pull them to the inside and take them off from the inside of our box. So if they leave any tears or hanging chads, because that's what they remind me of, if you don't get them all the way down, it'll be on the inside and nobody will see it. So now we're just going to snip these away. And sometimes you can just pull them away. And you can see there's a little piece right there. As long as it's on the inside, I'm good with it. Now this is important. I need you to fold and crease all of these lines before you start assembling. And I want you to line all of your lines up. Line your edges up, line the sides up, and get a nice square fold. If you get a nice square fold, you'll get a nice square box. Every line, including the little flaps. Let's go around and do all our folding and creasing. Okay, now it's time to do the roundabout assembly, and here's how it's going to work. Go ahead and turn your flaps back like this, and we're going to stand one side up, okay? This piece is going to get glue, Then we're going to wrap it around this side. And that is going to be what helps us close our box. What I love about this box is how sturdy it gets. So you could put something really heavy. It's not going to fall apart. It'll be nice and sturdy when you're done. So we've got that one piece on. Now we're going to open this flap out, push this one up, and glue this one to it. So we're just going round the box. You can put the glue on the flap or on the side of the box, either one. This also gives a nice seamless finish to the side. All right, open that one up, lay that one down, apply glue, close it up. Last one. This will close your box. So easy, so square, and so sturdy. Hear that? Now, this little lid, the little roof lid, sits right on top. And because we made them pretty much the same dimension, like this is the same as this, your roof holds really snug. See how it does? It's not going to just fall away. Now, you can knock it off, okay, because I don't have anything locking it on. But it just holds really, really snug, just like that. And you can do so much to this guy. Let me show you what I did to my roof. So I have this embossing folder that's textured. It is, I don't remember the name of this one. I think it's woven. I think it's woven, but it's extremely textured. And I thought this would be really cute. These pieces here are 2 by 2. These little guys, I cut 2 pieces of them, okay? So I'm just going to put these in like this, and I'll just run them side by side. That'll be fine. I want my texture to run across the roof. You'll see here how I've got it running across like it's shingles. It can go either way, but I think that's really cute. And because these are square, you can turn them whenever it's done. So I'm going to run this through the embossing machine real quick. And when they're done, they look like this. To me, they look like Triscuits or shredded wheat, don't they? But they look kind of cool, don't they? So there's our little roofs. And they could go either way. You could turn them sideways. You could have your roof going like this, or you could have it going sideways. I just felt like it looked like rows of shingles. What I'm going to do really quick is put a little ink on them. I actually was not going to do a dark ink. I was going to do a white ink, but then I got to thinking, if I was cooking, I would, if it was a gingerbread cookie, it might have a little color on it from the oven. So I did this because it also brings out the texture. So just super lightly, you see I'm taking some of it off onto my glass mat first. I find that keeps me from getting like really, really blobby. And I think this is so cute. And I even took this kind of inside on those pieces to give it that cookie golden brownness. And I know you're not supposed to get a lot of brown on these kind of cookies, but look. It just looks cute, right? Look at the difference between the two. See if I can get that to stand up. Look at the difference. See the texture? It just looks better. So let's do this one too. All right, so there's those done. Let's go ahead and do these as well. So I'm going to go around the box and do a little inking there. For the box, I didn't get too far in. I really only wanted to do kind of the edges just to give it that browned in the oven look. Then to the roof pitch. Now then I just glued these guys on, and they work really easy. You just put your glue here. I tried doing it where I cut these a little longer and had them hang off, but they actually didn't look as good on the house. To me, I'd cut this edge a little longer like that, so that kind of hung off. But when I put it on the house, it looked like the roof was too big for the house. So I decided that I would just cut them the same size. You can always decorate in so many different ways. Here's another trick. With that embossed paper, to get that glue to go everywhere, just kind of lay it down on your work surface and kind of give it a press, and that really catches it. And that is how I built the house with the roof. Now I decorated mine up, and let me show you how I did that. So using a piece of the scrap left over from me cutting the pieces and our stamp set called Gingerbread, I used this little guy. I'm going to use little girl this time. And then I used some of the pieces from here and this to make the gingerbread house work. Now I want to show you really quick. We have free SVGs with all of our stamp sets. So if you want to pick up that stamp set and you don't want to have to cut it out, the SVGs will do that for you. This little guy, I have a video where I showed you how to make him into a treat box without having to build the box, or at least not this kind of box. We'll be sure to link that little video for you below. But in the meantime, let's do some stamping. So I wanted a little door and little windows on mine. So here's what I did. I just inked up kind of the door section here and stamped that onto my page. that little section. Then I'm going to ink up the window a couple of times, just making sure I don't go over my door. I'm going to cut all this out. So there he is there. And then let's do him here. So we get a couple of windows. That's all I did. You could do a lot more. And then I'm just going to fussy cut these out. And they're very easy to do, especially the windows. If you don't have gingerbread, I bet if you look through your stamp sets, you'll find something with a window or something that could look like a window. You could do punch shapes here. That would be super cute if you had something to punch that would work like a window. You can draw them on. You can cut cardstock or paper or anything. So many ways to do this. This would be a fun project for the grands. I think the grandkids would like to sit down and just make little gingerbread houses. I also have a video that I did ages ago that is a Advent countdown little house village, and we'll link that one as well, because if you wanted to do this little house to make a village, that would be super cute too. Be a cool way to do it. All right, so there's those little pieces. Then what I did with these guys is I used a white pen. Love a white pen. This to me really makes things look like gingerbread. So on my windows, I just colored in the frames. They have these little open lines, and I just went in there like so. Colored those in with my white. Then on the door, I did the doorknob white, and then I just did a little design across the bottom, just a little wavy line, another little wavy line, and some dots in between, just to give it a little texture. Then with your roof on, I think this is the best way to do this. Put your roof where you want it, lay it on its side, and then put your windows on. If you're not careful, you'll get your windows where the eaves will kind of hang over it, or where the top of the roof will hang over it. So I'm going to do it this way and just drop a little window here. And the cool thing is, this is supposed to look homemade, so don't spend too much time on it, just put them down. I actually think it looks cute if they're not perfect. Put our little door down. Too cute. I'm okay with the door hanging over them too, because remember, homemade. All right, now what I'm going to do is go back to my little cuts that I had earlier, and I'm going to pick some out. So I've got this SVG cut of the gingerbread guy. So I tell you what, I'll use him again because he's already cut. And then I've got a little a little gingerbread, a little candy cane. And then let's see what else is in here we can use. There's a little scarf. And maybe we'll put this on the roof. This might be cute right up there. So let's hold that one out. Oh, look, here's one already colored. I love when these were some we had in another project we didn't end up using. So we always save those for the next time, because you never know when you might want them. So there's that. All right, let's stamp the little guy on here. Now on this little guy, I did the same thing I did on the door and the window, and I traced him in this little section with some white. Now we can just decorate with these guys. So my little candy cane, I'm going to put to one side of the front door, just like so. Then I think this will be cute at the top, just kind of right up there. But I do think I'm going to add some white in there. I may need to add white to my candy cane too. This little guy's going to live right here, and I'm going to add some foam just to the side where he will stick so it doesn't hang over the back. Then I'm just going to place him on his little house. That's so cute. So there he is like this. Now, this little guy, I coated him with snow. I'll show you how I did that. So this product I'm using is called Snow Rider. So what I did was you kind of just treat it like a pastry bag. You just kind of put it in there, and I just kind of pushed it up on itself. And this is not necessary. I mean, it's cute. But you could just cut some pieces of paper and stuff like that to put on here. Little scallop borders would be cute, like gingerbread and things like that. So I like to just kind of let it build up. Then I like to take the tip. You don't have to do this, but I like to take the tip and just pull straight down a little bit to make it almost look like the snow is kind of running. Just kind of straight down like that. See how that does? We'll do that to the front and the back. We'll let that dry, and then we'll decorate here as well. All right, I'm going to put my lid back on and let that sit and dry. I love how this little guy turned out. I think you could use this rooftop for so many things. What I want to do is make a taller one now and see how it looks. So let me get another piece of paper, and we'll try to size this guy up. So this piece is 8.5 by 6, and we're going to have to do a couple of things different. So we're going to do 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches, but that half is going to be what we close this box with. I'm going to turn this sideways and score it at 4. Okay, so that will be our bottom here. So first we'll cut away this little section. And here I want to do an angled cut. So I'm just going to angle back to it like so. And I'll do the same up here just to the top of the score mark to give us that little angled cut. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is cut away my score marks again. I don't need this much bulk. Actually, you could leave, as long as you leave one piece square, you can angle cut all the others. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got this piece, and let's say this is going to be our square piece. So this piece is square. The rest we can angle cut and hide in. We can even cut them shorter because we don't need so much. We just need one piece that'll close the whole box out. So now let's fold and crease everything. Now this will be our finishing piece here, okay? Just remember that. So what we're going to do real quick is close this box up. We're going to apply glue to our flap. And what I love about these kinds of even boxes is I can just kind of fold them in half and it'll close that right up for me. I can just press it into place. Then, remember, our finishing piece is the full square. So we'll pull it back so we can see it. This is the full square right here, okay? And so these guys can all go inside and be our bottom. We'll apply glue here and close it down. You could cut these away, make them smaller. You don't have to have all 4 of these in there, but it does add to the structure of the box. All right, when you close this down, you want to kind of get your square established. That piece is what's holding our box together. How cute is that? Now let's see what happens with the roof. Same roof. We don't have to change anything about the roof because it'll work on both. Now, I'll bring this one's still a little wet. So look, if you wanted to have like a 2-story and a single story, isn't that cute? As long as your box is 2 inches around, your roof is going to fit every time. I love that so much. I think that'd be so cute sitting like on your mantelpiece or something. That's adorable. We need one more, like one in between. So I did this one 2 inches tall. This one's 4 inches tall. You could do a 3-inch and put it right between and it would be adorable. So there you go, guys. These are our cute little gingerbread houses. If you make these, you know I want to see them. Consider a couple places you can post your projects. I'd like to see them on our customer gallery. That would be super fun to see a bunch of these pop up in different shapes and colors and sizes. Or on our Facebook group called Maymay Made It and So Did I. If you're looking for inspiration for your next project, you can catch it in those 2 places. Our customer gallery is like our very own Pinterest board. It's full of ideas for you, and so is our Facebook group. Thanks so much for being here today. Consider giving the video a big thumbs up or Vinny the video, and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, bye now.